Okay, this is a how-to video to add contacts to your CRM in KvCore. So I am on the main page of KvCore, and I'm going to go right up here to Quick Actions, and I'm going to add a contact. I'm going to add first name, I'm adding myself for this example. I'm in here several times, but that's okay. And I'm going to add an email address. And I'm going to add my phone number. Okay, now I'm going to go down the page a little bit. And do we have permission from the client to email them and call them? In this case, yes and yes. They clearly gave you their information, so they expect contact with you. If you have their current address, if you know where they live now, it's best to put that in here because there are additional cool things that KvCore does, and we can do reminders of property valuations. Just set them once a month. They'll get an updated property valuation, which is really, really neat. The lead info, are they a buyer? Are they a seller? Do they happen to be a renter currently? Are they another real estate agent that you're doing a deal with? Maybe they're a vendor. Maybe they're a photographer, a favorite photographer, or a home inspector. You want to add them all in here. In this case, this is a buyer because I did an open house this past weekend, so I'm adding him. Lead status. It's a new buyer. So do I want to put him in as a prospect, as a new lead, as an active lead? If I'm not actually doing anything with him yet, if I haven't written a contract, he's going to be a new lead. If I set him up as a new lead, the system is automatically going to put him on the new buyer lead campaign. And it's kind of a set it and forget it thing. They'll start getting emails and text messages from you. It kind of helps because you can't keep in contact with everybody 24 hours a day. So this system helps you keep in contact with your people. The lead owner, you put your name. I can set them up on a smart campaign. In this case, they are default new lead buyer. If you know that they already have a lender, you can add the lender to them. You can even CC the lender on this information. You can add hashtags here. Now, what a hashtag does is gives you some indication of where you got this prospective buyer from. So in the case of this pretend customer, it was an open house from last weekend. So I'm going to put hashtag Raintree open house. And you're going to add them there. I also like to add hashtag company newsletter. That means every single month, on the 9th day of the month, this customer is going to receive a company newsletter from you. And again, set it and forget it. It's already done for you. Remember, with hashtags, there are no spaces. And you add your contact. And in this particular case, it's telling me that this email already exists. So it's for this example, it's not going to let me continue because I'm already in there. But you get the gist of it. You would add contact. Okay, let me hit cancel on this one. Yes, I have to cancel. But now I can go over here. See these 3 lines here? That opens up, tells you your dashboard, playbooks, your smart CRM. I can go to my contacts. And it takes for them to load. Now keep in mind that I have tons and tons because I'm the district manager of the company, so I have a lot of contacts. Yours are only going to have your contacts. So if I search for the name, I'm searching for myself. I'm in here a couple of times. Kelly Smith, company newsletter, Kai's Hope Sound office, Kelly Smith. I had set up a practice search for waterfront properties, so I've got that hashtag in there for waterfront company newsletter. So this is an active lead. Let's just click on this so you can see what it is. Phone number's there, email address is there, home address, set up as a buyer, looking for waterfront properties, company newsletter. The summary based on search criteria, interested in Hope Sound, 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, around 550,000. Signed up August 26, 2019, 3 years ago, was active 3 months ago. It tells you all this information. Came in on a Facebook ad. In this section, I can change this. I can change this person from an active lead to a client lead. When a new lead comes in automatically, generically from the website, from the Kai's website, they're going to come in as a new lead. You're going to look at them for a couple of days, and then when you start interacting with them, you want to switch them to an active lead. Or if you get them under contract, put the contract, and then when they're done, you close them. This tracks all of your income and activity with this particular person, but you can just change this. So I'm going to change it to Sphere, yes, and you can see I can change it back to active lead, yes. So it's easily changeable for what you want this person. And you can see the whole timeline from August 26th, added the hashtag, assigned to Kelly Smith. A validation was run. Found a LinkedIn. Quality of the lead is excellent. It's going to tell you whether it's a fake email address. Send area report. You can view the report. And it goes up through here. Over to the right, you can see the actions. If I wanted to make a phone call to this person, I could click this button right here, new call. It actually will ring my personal cell phone. And then after I answer, then it rings this client. It doesn't record the conversation per se, but it documents that you made a phone call at this day and this time. And then when you're done with your phone call, you can add a note. I called this person, we discussed this, we talked about showing houses next weekend. So you can just remember, you can keep track. You can send them an email from here. You can do a voicemail drop. It doesn't actually ring their phone, it just calls them and leaves a voicemail. You can do a video and email them. Hey, it was good seeing you at the open house. Let's keep in touch. Core Presents. You can do that from right here. That's how you do the CMA, the market analysis. There are other actions as well. There are 2 different property alerts set up for this person. They're also on the holiday events campaign. So every holiday, 4th of July, Valentine's Day, first day of spring, first day of winter, these cards are emailed to this person. And this is the default active buyer campaign. I could send a market report. I've already done a Core Presents on a property. So you get the idea. There's a lot of things you can do. You can go over here to the profile tab and add more information to this person. If they have a spouse or a second phone number, or their birthday. See, I have the birthday set up for this person, so they're going to get a birthday card emailed and texted to them every year on their birthday. If there was a spouse, you could do the same thing. If you know what social media they're on, you can add all that information. The more information you can add to this, the better. I have property alerts set up. You can see there's 2 different alerts. You can set them up by what they're searching for. Instead of meeting a person and then going into the MLS and setting up an automatic search, the MLS will send them plenty of search results. The problem is you can't keep track of what they're looking at. They may get in their car and go and drive through that neighborhood and call the realtor that happens to be on the for sale sign. If you set them up through KvCore, you can see what they're looking at. They're going to get an email. They're going to get a text. They're going to be reminded to continue to work with you. It's much easier to keep track of your people. If you were to upload files, let's say you're writing a contract and you have files, you can upload things. You can go right to transaction desk where we write our contracts, create your transaction. It's all right here. You can set up tasks. You can add a task to remind you to call this person in a week, or remind you to email them something that you talked about. So these are all things that you can do with your customers. And again, this how-to was if you wanted to add one customer at a time. There are other features where you can add everybody from your database, from an old database, and you can upload them all at once. That's a different lesson, but this will get you started on how to add a few people as you meet them.